Are you looking to land high-ticket commercial cleaning contracts consistently, but you're not sure how to do it? Should you cold call? Should you do this? Should you do that? In this video, I'm breaking down the absolute best ways to get these clients consistently and the worst ways. The ways that are just gonna waste you a lot of money and time in the process. Now, everything that I'm laying out in this video, I've personally tried, so I have direct experience. It's not me shooting off at the mouth. I guarantee on this list are gonna be things that absolutely blow your mind, things that you haven't even considered before, and they work extremely well to get these clients. And we'll get to that right now, but what's going on? My name is Mike Mack, author of the Amazon bestseller, Pick Up Cash, Not Trash, and I recently made a video breaking down the best office clients versus the worst office clients. So if you haven't saw that video yet, after you watch this one, definitely go back and check that one out. But like I said, let's talk about what works and what doesn't work when it comes to landing these types of clients. Jumping into it right now. A quick breakdown on the rating system. S tier, I mean, these are gold standard ways to get clients. D and F, not great, not recommended, wouldn't do it. All right, let's dive into these methods one by one. First, we're gonna talk about digital marketing that everyone seems to be obsessed with. Starting with Google Ads. See, that is a C tier method for me. I know it's really popular, but there's two reasons why I don't love that, especially if you're just starting out. One, if you don't know what you're doing, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. And two, even if you do know what you're doing, let's think about what this actually is. This is a way of getting the 1% of the market who's ready right now. And a lot of times these customers are gonna click on that button because they're trying to get as many bids as possible from other companies. I don't like playing the game that way. You could get a great client from there, but it's also a big risk at the same time. All right, the next one is Facebook ads. See, that's D tier for me, and I do love Facebook ads, but for other things. Nobody goes to Facebook thinking, I need to hire a cleaning company today. They're scrolling to see baby pictures and get into political arguments, of course. The only thing I like about Facebook is running simple awareness campaigns, but only if you're doing other types of marketing to go along with it. But by itself, no thanks. Keeping with the trend of Facebook, let's talk about Facebook group marketing. D tier. There was a time when this was a B tier strategy. Groups were on fire. Now, I'm saying D and not F because maybe in your area there's a good hot local group where there's people in there that could potentially lead to you getting clients, but oftentimes the decision makers you want for these types of clients, they're not in these groups. So because of that, I'm avoiding it. What about Instagram though? See, Instagram's C tier. It's not amazing, but it can work. I mean, you can build some brand awareness. Ads are pretty cheap, again, for awareness. And if you're doing some prospecting, make sure you do it from a personal profile so it's more personable. It wouldn't be my main approach, but if you wanted to use it alongside something else, it's not bad. C tier. All right, what about LinkedIn Organic? See, this is A tier if done right. Why? Because decision makers are there. And you're gonna see this trend a lot here. You can build relationships with these decision makers and position your company the right way with some good content. And it's a great way to make some great connections. So done right, A tier for me. All right, that's organic. What about LinkedIn ads? See, this is C tier for me. I don't love the LinkedIn ads platform. I think there are so many better ways to deploy your marketing budget. So I pretty much flip of a coin for me. That's C tier in a nutshell. I'd pass. Okay, now let's talk about some direct outreach methods where results can vary dramatically, starting with cold email. I got that in the A tier. Now, typically not my favorite approach, which you'd be like, then why is it in your A tier? The reason why is because there are two ways to go about it. You can go high value or high volume. Cold email gives you the ability to message thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Again, not my approach, but if you're gonna play the high volume game, I'd much rather play the cold email game versus some of the other ways like cold calling and door knocking, which we'll talk about right now. All right, perfect segue. Cold calling. C tier, could be D tier, but the only people you're going to really turn into clients are either going to be bad clients or price shoppers. Or sometimes you'll get really fortunate and land a good client because you happen to call at the right time. Now, there are much better ways with much less pain. But again, the reason why it's not a D tier, it's a C tier, is if you do have the skill and you have a knack for cold calling and you're okay dealing with the amount of rejection that you're going to deal with could work out. Again, volume does offset some of these things slightly. So I'm not going to turn my back completely on volume. All right, now let's talk about door knocking. Pretty similar, C tier. It can get you some business when you need it, but there are far better, more predictable ways of doing it. And here's the thing about cold calling and door knocking. All of your competition is already doing the same thing. You get this bright idea of like, I'm just going to walk into this place, I'm going to shake their hand, as if everyone else in your space isn't already doing the same thing. I want you to think about what it's like to be your potential client when they're trying to grow their business and people are walking in selling them stuff when they think these are potential customers. Would you like it? Well, the truth is they don't like it either, and that's why it's really difficult to pull off. So I would avoid. Now let's talk about direct mail. That's right, old school, just direct. I'm sending you a letter, I'm sending you this, I'm sending you that. S tier for me, it's the gold standard. It's my favorite by far. I could sit here and talk about that for an hour. Why? But I'll keep it short. I love direct mail because while everyone has become obsessed with this AI revolution of I'm gonna get clients using AI, or I'm gonna get clients cold calling people, I want to show up completely different every time, and I know for a fact that my competition is not sending what I'm sending to my customers on a consistent basis. Because when you can do this right, it is the only thing, it's the only method you'll ever need to get these clients consistently coming to you. All right, now capping off the direct response, let's talk about text message marketing. F tier. Not only ineffective for B2B services typically who didn't opt in to receive text, but it could be illegal in some cases. And it can get you banned. I don't know. It's a whole thing. I'd stay away. So all right, let's transition into relationship-based methods, essentially leveraging other people's network. We're gonna start with strategic partnerships. S tier magic, building relationships with great people in your area who have connections, like potential real estate agents, dealership owners. Like if you can get in and build relationships with the right people, you're gonna crush. Now, what I'm not saying is to cold call a bunch of property managers. And the reason why I say that is most of your competition's already doing that. They're already trying their best. And because of that, these property managers will probably pick up the phone. If they're nice, they'll give you the runaround of like, yeah, totally. Send me your business card, or oh, I'm writing your number down right now. It's gonna go great. And then they never call you. It's because that's not the right way to go about it. You want to seek these people out at events and build connections with them. Before we go on to the next one, if you are finding videos like this valuable and you want me to do more, comment value. And also, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. Now let's get back to the next method. All right, let's segue into something as warm, referral programs. See, this is A tier stuff when structured correctly. You could offer $500 for anyone who brings you a client. And when you incentivize business like that, people want to take action and help you out. But here's the thing. This is definitely not the type of method you want to rely on exclusively, because a method like this can be very inconsistent and unpredictable. Speaking of unpredictable, let's talk about word to mouth. B tier. Why? Because it's pretty easy to get clients when they come to you doing things this way. The problem is a lot of cleaning business owners fall victim by trying to rely on it. They use it as a badge of honor, like, oh, I don't even market, I just get so much word of mouth. In the commercial cleaning space, it's just not going to be as much as you could possibly grow your cleaning company with residential this way. Commercial, it's gonna be very inconsistent, very difficult to grow, and if you want consistent and you want fast growing, don't rely on it. All right, what about local business networking groups? I mean, another B tier for me, because it depends on the group. Some groups I'd probably rank as high as A, and others maybe D, so I'm trying to finish somewhere in the middle. But get out there, I want you to mix it up with people, try different groups, because this can be a really great approach. But it all depends on the group. Which leads me to the next thing. What if you find an industry-specific group? Now, like I said, A tier, joining specific groups where there's property managers, facility managers. I mean, it puts you directly in front of decision makers, and for that, it's worth every bit of the membership fees and the hour or two a week it takes to go there and mix it up with people. What about the Chamber of Commerce? Pretty popular, right? Everyone's heard of it. For me, D tier. I think it's outdated, it's ineffective in most markets, not all. The ROI simply isn't there like it once was. So for me, I just think there's better ways. Speaking of potentially better ways, Next up, we're going to talk about methods that are focused on building authority and actually generating some inbound leads. We're going to start with SEO and content marketing. For me, B tier. Long-term play with excellent ROI, but it's going to take you 6 to 12 months to see actual real results. So it's definitely a good thing for the future, but not a great place to start if you're looking to make an impact a lot sooner. What about YouTube? I'm the YouTube guy, right? I probably love YouTube. Well, not for commercial cleaning. F tier for client acquisition in this space, because you're going to be posting videos into the YouTube ether. And I mean, what's the likelihood that a local client's going to see it and then they're going to be like, what? I love watching videos on a guy talking about commercial cleaning. This is my company. Maybe. I don't. It's far better things to do. F tier for me. What about podcasting? E tier. I once had this idea by one of my mentees came to me and he's like, hey, I want to make a local podcast talking about my city, getting people really excited about my city, and ultimately I'm going to sell them cleaning services. It's not a terrible idea, but it's just one of those ideas that it'll take forever to build enough steam and traction to see if it's even something that's working. Again, you're going to spend money, you're going to spend a lot of time in the process. It's going to potentially burn you out. Stay away. My view on that, I wouldn't touch it. All right, now let's look at the final piece. I would say these are the platform-based approaches that connect you with potential clients. That's a mouthful. So what I'm really talking about is Thumbtack and platforms like it. And for me, it's like a DC tier because you could land a couple offices here and there, but typically they tend to be smaller offices, and typically they're never going to pay you top dollar because you're competing with 15 to 20 other people for the same bid. And 10 times out of 10, when you're in that spot, you're bidding against companies that are willing to go very, very low with their bids to win. And because of that, I'd stay far away, especially if you want premium rates. What about commercial cleaning bidding platforms? DC tier. Sorry, these are a little inconclusive because I have had stories where people are like, oh, it's worked out for me, but most people, it's the same thing. Competition's fierce. People are squeezing you on margins. Again, not for high ticket. I'd stay away. What about Angie's List and Home Advisor? A lot of residential people have some good time with this, but for commercial cleaning, D tier. I'm being nice. Should be F tier. Stay away. What about local service ads? D tier. You're waiting on that 1% to be ready. I already kind of talked about that. Not a fan. All right, what about joining a vendor list for government contracts? C tier. Why? I know a lot of people have this like A and S tier, but here's the truth. For me, it's a D or an F because personally, I know some people, once in a while, you'll get lucky and find something, but here's the reality. You're going to sign up to be a vendor and you're going to be told and sold this opportunity for these monster accounts that are completely going to change your business, but 90% of businesses, it never happens for. Even if you do get the call for contracts, the government makes it strictly a money call. It's not a value decision. There are way too many other vendors that they can choose instead of you. So you're never in a position to get the price that you actually deserve. So for me, save yourself the heartache. So which office cleaning client methods are going to be best for you? That's what really matters. And to me, there's 3 factors. It's your budget, it's your timeline, it's your personality, it's your skill level. See, if you need clients fast and you have more time than money, that's going to have different advice. Like maybe door knocking, cold calling would be good for you. But are they going to help you land great clients? Likely not, unfortunately. Quality is the other side of that coin. What if you have more money than time? My best advice is to focus all your time and energy on high ticket clients only. That way, every time you land a client, it's in the ballpark of $5,000 per month. So much easier to stack those contracts and win. So the next logical question is, how do you implement these A and S tier strategies that I laid out without wasting months trying to figure it out, without all the trial and error? Well, 2 options. Option 1, stick with YouTube University. Check out this video right here where I talk about how you can go about landing your first few clients, your first 5 clients. Really exciting. Or as option 2, you're ready to graduate from YouTube University and you want to work with me directly and my team so we can personally help install the systems to get these high ticket clients, find great cleaners, and automate the process so you have a consistent evergreen business that doesn't burn you out? Then click the first link in the description, chat with my team, and see if it makes sense to work together. Either way, my friend, I'll see you on the next one.